midday. Good afternoon. I'm Adeola Adekunle with Global News. In the news, President Buhari calls for calm amid Naira's scarcity. African Union launches Reconciliation Summit to restore stability in Libya. Heavy floods kill at least 36 people in Brazil.
This is the news.
President Muhammadu Buhari has appealed to Nigerians to remain patient as his administration takes appropriate action to mitigate the hardships occasioned by the controversial Naira swap policy. He made the plea on Sunday in a video recording to shore up support for the presidential candidate of APC, Bola Tinubu. Buhari, who appreciates Nigerians for electing him for 2 terms, urged them to vote for the APC standard bearer.
I want to use this opportunity to once again thank you for electing me to be your president on 2 occasions. I am not a contestant in this election, but my party, the All Progressive Congress, has a candidate in the person of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. As I mentioned before, Tinubu is a true believer in Nigeria who loves the people and the development of our country. I am calling on all of you to vote Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He is reliable and I trust he will build on our achievements. Finally, I want to once again assure you that I am fully aware of the current hardship you are facing as a result of some policies of the government which are meant to bring overall improvement to the country. I am appealing to you to exercise further patience as we take appropriate measures to ease these hardships. God willing, there will be light at the end of the tunnel.
President Buhari describes his desired successor as reliable and sure to build on his administration's achievements. Now, the national chairman of APC, Senator Abdullahi Adamu, and the progressive governors of Farim have asked federal government and CBN to comply with the interim order of the Supreme Court, which asked parties to maintain status quo with regards to the Naira redesign policy. The call comes on the heels of a meeting between Adamu and the APC governors in Abuja over a policy that seemingly deepens the rift between the presidency and governors under the party. Governors Nasiru El-Rufai, Yahaya Bello, and Bello Matawali had earlier taken the federal government to the Supreme Court seeking an injunction to suspend the Naira swap policy of the CBN, which has caused untold hardships to Nigerians. Although the Apex Court gave an interim order for the federal government to maintain the status quo and allow Nigerians to continue to use the old Naira notes, its decision was completely disregarded by the government, which has continued with its disruptive implementation. At the end of the meeting, APC National Chairman Abdullahi Adamu spoke about the resolution of the meeting with Progressive Governors Forum.
At the end of the discussion, we have resolved as follows. And this resolution is without prejudice whatsoever to the case that is lying in the Supreme Court at this point in time. This has to do with the issue of currency redesign. We note very seriously that the program and its implementation is causing tremendous difficulties to the people of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and to the national economy. that we urge the Attorney General of the Federation and the Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria to respect the Supreme Court's order of interim injunction. That the meeting is urging His Excellency, Mr. President, to intervene in resolving the issues that are causing these great difficulties to the people and to the economy.
Chairman Progressive Governors Forum Atiku Bagudu said all the parties at the meeting endorsed the resolution. The African Union has reiterated its zero-tolerance approach to undemocratic changes of power on the continent. On the final day of a summit in Addis Ababa, the AU said it would maintain the suspension of Burkina Faso, Guinea, Mali, and Sudan, which are all ruled by military leaders following coup. The Commissioner for Political Affairs, Bankole Adeoye, said the AU was ready to help those countries return to constitutional order and help democracy take root. Leaders at the summit also agreed to press ahead with plans for a free trade deal, including almost every country in Africa. Meanwhile, the African Union is organizing a national reconciliation conference for Libya in the latest effort to restore stability in the country. The chairman of the AU Commission, Musa Faki Mahamat, made the announcement at the end of a two-day summit in Addis Ababa. He said the AU was working with all sides to decide on a date and place for the meeting. The United Nations said recently Libya's rival administrations had agreed on a mechanism to clear foreign troops and mercenaries from the country, but they have failed to come up with a timetable for their departure. Mozambique President Felipe Nyusi has made an early return home from the African Union summit in order to monitor his country's response to heavy rains and the looming tropical cyclone Freddy. The cyclone is expected to make landfall on Monday in neighboring Madagascar and could affect as many as 2 million people. President Nyusi expressed optimism at his country's experience in dealing with the effects of heavy rains and cyclones. Report predicts Tropical Cyclone Freddy could affect nations along the coast from Tanzania to South Africa. You're on to Global News from Adaba 88.9 FM, accurate transmitting from Ilaramoki. After the break, heavy floods kill at least 36 people in Brazil. Details in the second part of the bulletin. Join us again.
The news on Adaba 88.9 FM.
Glad to have you back. For news updating live streaming, visit our website www.adaba889.fm or download Adaba FM app on Google Play Store. You can be part of us on our social media platforms www.facebook.com/AdabFM88.9 on Facebook, at Adaba889FM on Instagram, and Adaba FM TV on YouTube. To provide us information, you can reach us via email newsroom@adaba889.fm. And to the rest of the bulletin. New Zealand has said rebuilding after Cyclone Gabrielle will cost billions of dollars on par with the Christchurch earthquake from 12 years ago. Gabrielle brought widespread flooding to the North Island in mid-February, damaging roads and bridges. At least 11 people have died so far, and thousands are still uncontactable. Finance Minister Grant Robertson said the government would first attend to survivors' most urgent needs, with food, shelter, electricity, and communications. On Monday, Prime Minister Chris Hipkins announced an additional €129.6 million to fix damaged roads and a 25.9 million euro support package to give immediate relief for businesses. Mr. Ipkins also said the state of national emergency due to Gabriel will be extended for 7 days. This is only the third time in New Zealand's history that the country has issued a national emergency declaration to speed up rescue and relief efforts. In the meantime, authorities in the Brazilian state of Sao Paulo say at least 36 people have been killed in heavy flooding and landslides. More than 23.6 inches of rain fell in some areas on Sunday, twice the expected amount for the month. Report has it that the heavy flood has forced some cities to cancel annual carnival celebrations. The mayor of the at-it town of São Sebastião, Felipe Augusto, said rescue teams have been struggling to reach survivors in unblocked roads. Mr. Augusto revealed that dozens are missing in the town and about 50 houses had collapsed and washed away. Meanwhile, officials say another 228 people have been left homeless, with 338 more evacuated from coastal regions north of Sao Paulo. President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, who is spending the carnival weekend in the northeastern state of Bahia, is expected to visit the affected areas today. Afghanistan has faced a deepening economic and humanitarian crisis since the Taliban regained control of the country in August 2021. Foreign military forces had been in the country for 2 decades. The decision was announced by Acting Deputy Prime Minister for Economic Affairs, Mullah Abdulghani Barada. In a statement on Sunday, Mullah Barada says it was decided that the Ministry of Industry and Commerce should take control of the remaining military bases of the foreign forces with the intention of converting them into special economic zones. He adds that the project will begin with sites in the capital of Kabul and the northern Balkh province, but did not give further details. And now, U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken says China is considering giving Russia weapons and ammunition for the Ukraine war. Mr. Blinken said Chinese companies are already providing non-lethal support to Russia, and new information suggested Beijing could provide lethal support. He warned that escalation would mean serious consequences for China. China has denied reports that Moscow has requested military equipment. China's foreign ministry said it would not accept finger-pointing and coercion from the U.S. over its relations with Russia. And sports. The body of footballer Christian Atsu, who died after an earthquake hit Turkey 2 weeks ago, has been returned to his native home, Ghana. The flight landed in Accra late Sunday, and his coffin was carried away by members of Ghana's armed forces. Atsu was found dead on Saturday under his home in southern Turkey. The 31-year-old winger played 65 times for Ghana's national team and helped his side reach the 2015 Africa Cup of Nations final, and also played for Premier League sides Everton and Newcastle. Speaking at Kotoka Airport in the capital Accra, Ghana's Vice President Muhammadu Bawumia said the late footballer was much loved and would be sorely missed. He promised Atsu would be given a befitting burial. And now to end Global News, a recap of our top stories. President Muhammadu Buhari has appealed to Nigerians to remain patient as his administration takes appropriate action to mitigate the hardships occasioned by the controversial Naira swap policy. African Union is organizing a national reconciliation conference for Libya in the latest efforts to restore stability in the country. And we told you that authorities in the Brazilian state of Sao Paulo say at least 36 people have been killed in heavy flooding and landslides. And that's Global News. It was edited by Michael Akintoday. I'm Adeola Adekunle. Thank you for listening. Good afternoon.